Welcome back on the AM show. And of course, like we hinted at the start of the show, and as you have seen, that report by my colleague Erastus Asare Donko, we're getting into that issue of two people who died after an illegal mining pit they were working in collapsed atop them in Odumase in the Asante Achim Central Municipality of the Ashanti region. Now, the two were part of a group of illegal miners working in a concession belonging to the Northern Ashanti Mines Limited. Now, we do know that many of the mining companies' concessions lie unprotected, making them a haven for dangerous illegal mining joints in the town. Well, joining us for a conversation on that matter, we have Robert Kwache. He is MCE Asante Achim Central, Robert Kwache. We also have Erastus Asare Donko, the man on the beat. He is assisting editor at Love FM. He joins the conversation. I'll start with you, Erastus Asare Donko. You've been on the ground, so I just want you to quickly give me an update on the situation. Then I'll interact with the MCE and come back to you. But what is the latest that you can report? I noticed that a lot of people trooped to the mining site on the day, some just holding themselves with sadness. What can you report now?
Well, so immediately after they scooped up the bodies of the two with the excavator, many of the people who had gathered there, hundreds of them, left. They followed, as you can see in the footage, they followed the bodies to where they were going to keep them. And with them, all the miners who had gathered in there. But interesting enough, we waited for a while to find out what was going to happen, whether they were going to return. And indeed, we were positive. Some of them came back, the miners. One of them who was working with the other three in the pit was there. They were scooping the material they had gathered from the pit because they claimed people would steal them. So they were gathering them. Some of them were putting padlocks to these chamfer machines you see in a shot there and telling me that they will be back the following day to work. In fact, some even told us that once people have died in that pit, the gold will surface even more the following day, so they will come back.
Wait, so this is some sort of belief that they have, so sort of a sacrifice, and I mean, it's disgusting to even think of it, but that's the way they are thinking.
Yeah. I tell you, this belief is shared across Ghana, wherever there is mining. It will shock you to know that in some areas, people have died. They have buried them without even reporting. And they believe that once you die on there, it's a sacrifice. And the gold is some form of deity. And so when people die and blood is washed into the pits over there, then the gold surfaces more. But to continue, the Odumase deep pit mining is a complex saga. Very complex. Where they are mining currently, you could see the high tension poles. Some of them are digging even close to the high tension electric poles over there. They can dig almost everywhere. They are digging beneath homes. They are digging along road lines. Wherever they think the gold has surfaced, they start digging. And it did not start today. It's an age-old problem. It has continued until today. So I must say that many parts of Odumase is hanging by a thread, just waiting to collapse. And I asked the Northern Ashanti Mines Limited, who are currently concession owners, that why are you not protecting your concession? There are age-old shafts abandoned. The miners are using this to enter the ground and dig beneath homes and tunnels and other things. They are not protected. This particular mining area is just a walking distance from the residential area of the Northern Ashanti Mines Limited. Why is it not protected? There is an old, very deep pit, open. It's called Kumadusia because when we were growing up, we heard the stories about how some 60 miners, died in that pit. It's uncovered, it's very deep. Some of the miners have found their way in there and they are mining. It's unprotected. So why is the company not protecting its zones, its concession? And why are miners allowed to continue to mine and dig almost everywhere? And the answer is simple. Every member of the community in there embraces this type of mining. They say they take their livelihood from there. Even when we go in there to report, like this one, some of them were very hostile towards us because they believe that once we put the story out there, people will come after them and they will stop mining. And so they don't need any journalist or camera covering some of these things in there. So it tells you how the entire community embraces the illegal act and nobody wants to stop it. Even when it is fatal, it's affecting, it's dangerous, it's affecting their very existence, their living quarters in these areas.
I'll come back to you because then it raises the question as well about unemployment. But it's not only unemployment, because there are some who may even get decent employment, but because they've been exposed to the sort of gains they make from galamsey, they wouldn't even want to go back to that. I mean, we're told that sometimes in days what they earn would be someone's monthly or 2-3 months salary. That is one. And then we'll talk about the economy of Odumase and finally look at, just the next string of questions I'll be throwing to you when I come back to you. We know there was a third person who survived life-threatening injury and was hospitalized. When I come back to you, Erastus, I want us to look at that. But let me bring in Robert Kwache. He is MC Asante Achem Central. A very good morning to you, Mr. Kwache. Hello?
Good morning, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir.
Yes. It's really good to have you. We're grateful that you've decided to speak to us this morning. How did you receive the news of this happening? I mean, it's not the first because, like we know, mining, there's a lot of mining going on in that area. But how did you receive the news?
Yeah, in fact, it was shocking. It was shocking in the sense that where the incident happened falls within or Northern Ashanti mining concession. And we are aware of a lot of abandoned pits within that concession. And several efforts have been made by the regulatory bodies within this municipality. I'm talking about the Minerals Commission, the Environmental Event, EP, and all these people. We also have a district mining committee who have been on them severally to make sure that such abandoned pits within their concession are covered. They've made some effort doing that. But what shocks me is that they have security men. I don't see how they allow them to penetrate to go into such pits and work. And we also know that it's raining. That once it starts raining, you know what happens to the soil. Because these people are also doing it illegally, these safety measures and other things are not considered. And that has resulted into this situation. It is very, very worrying. And it's very, very, very worrying. So it wasn't a very good news to me. That when it happened, I wasn't around. I was at Tech campus and I heard this information and asked the police and the NADMO to be on site and find ways of excavating these dead ones. So it was very, very, very shocking.
Do you think Northern Ashanti Mines, in a way, has been irresponsible and some of these deaths we're seeing are a part of their irresponsibility? Here is why I ask the question. These young men shouldn't be there in the first place. But if they are not policing their concession well, which will definitely attract some of these galamseyers, what do you have to say about maybe what responsibility they also bear?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. In fact, the law states that if you have a concession, it's your responsibility to protect it. After all, like I'm telling you, if even they are finding it difficult to, prevent illegal miners into their concession, the abandoned pits, there should be several efforts to cover them. So that if they come, they may not get a place to go and do this work. That's why I am saying that in a way, I think that they have to be up and doing. This concession has been there years. All we hear is that today they will come and it has been changing of names. If they have been doing active work in that they have started employing some people. I think that the safety measures and all these things will be put in place, and majority of the people will be working in the mines. So the Northern Ashanti mines must also be up and doing, so that some of these issues that we are experiencing, we may not be experiencing it. In fact, it is sad and very, very, very worrying.
It is sad and worrying, but as MCE, I don't know for how long you've been the municipal chief executive, but I'm sure you know that it's one of the mainstays of that area in terms of your economy. And some would say partly it's also because of unemployment, while others will be quick to tell you that some of these people, even if you give them gainful employment, they will still go back to the pits because they earn a lot more money from there. So how much of a contributory factor is unemployment, especially among the youth? And how do you find that situation? It's a part of the economy.
Yes, I understand that, yes, people must work, and that mining, you bear with me that our government is not preventing people from mining, but he's talking about responsible mining. Several efforts have been made by the municipal assembly.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. These are illegal miners.
Yes,
these are illegal.
Yes, and this is what I'm saying, that yes, several efforts have been made by my government. Like I told you, he is not against mining, but he's against illegal mining. Several efforts have been made. The municipal assembly, together with the district mining committee, is making every effort to make sure that we have a discussion with the Northern Ashanti mine, so that part of their concession will be ceded to the community for this community mining. Efforts are being made. We have talked to the community, but like I'm telling you, whilst we are making effort to make sure that if it is because of unemployment, that's why people are doing all these things, if it is because of that, we are of the view that when we are able to get a section of the concession for them for community mining, where safety measures will be put in place, these situations can be avoided. We are making all these efforts, but in as much as we are making these efforts, this is what I'm saying, the Northern Ashanti mines must also do well to sort of protect their concession, make sure that these abandoned pits, they will not allow people to get into it. Even if they are finding financial difficulties to, do reclaim that such pits, I think that they can put some safety measures around these pits that are within their concession, so that when the boys get there, they will get to know that working there is dangerous. So this is the situation.
Are you, as MCE, and that means you are also in charge of the MUSEC, the Municipal Security Council at that level, are you going to directly engage Northern Ashanti mining? Because you may say that from the top, yes, but in terms of security in that area, you are the chief. What are you going to do? Are you going to engage them personally?
In fact, we have engaged them severally.
When was the last time? When was the last time?
I think last 2 weeks we had a meeting with them, the MUSEC and the Northern Ashanti mines, because when it starts raining like this, we do experience some of these things. It started like, I've been in power for this September, then I'll be getting 2 years. So I know the situation that do happens around there. So we are engaging them, telling them that once it is raining and the way these illegal miners are finding every possible means to work, they should be up and doing and make sure that such things are not going to happen. So we do engage them. Sometimes, in fact, when I assume office, some of them have been prosecuted. We send some of them, those that are doing illegal, just to serve as a deterrence to them. But like I am telling you, fighting them is not all that easy. This involves so many things that I will not want to talk about it. But we are making every effort to make sure that such things do not happen. Now,
in terms of the Galamseyers, you've also had interactions with them, and you say it's not so simple. I can understand. It's a convoluted, very complex situation. But I looked at the crowd that popped up there, people, men, women, some even pretty young, coming to watch what was happening. And then the bodies were found. Then, they all dispersed, going wherever, to the hospital or what followed. What have been your interactions with those young people? Obviously, they are also in the thick of this illegal mining. What are you going to be sharing with them in terms of the real dangers? Because I am sure some of those there would be family, sisters, brothers, wives, girlfriends, or whatever there. I see a certain woman. If you watch closely, you would see her. She was just, snapping her fingers in grief. And then when the bodies were excavated, brought up, she just let herself on the floor. These are people who see the effect of the mining. Yet they know that their siblings, their family members, friends are into it. I mean, what do we do?
But continuously, we do engage these communities where these mining activities keep going on. We do engage them regularly, let them see the dangers ahead. I am sure that they have all witnessed what has happened. I am not sure they want to see their relatives, their friends, families dying in this way. They are not happy with it. And this is the only thing we can use to advise them to refrain from it, in as much as we are making every effort to get a place for them to do regular mining. They should understand and see the dangers. Yes, it is true that probably you are not working and you may need some money to, earn a living. But if you want to go in this way to get money, you must also know the dangers ahead of it on your own. So we keep engaging them, advising them to, sort of find the wait until we make proper arrangements, get a place for them. I remember my predecessor, the one I came to succeed, worked her way through, and they were able to secure a place for them to do a community mining. And they were not experiencing this kind of thing. So we keep advising them, we keep telling them to wait until the right things are done. And I'll come back to the Northern Ashanti mines as you raise these issues. I know now they are making every effort. They have given a promise that they will do everything possible so that by the close of the year, they will start active mining, where I am sure they can also employ some people. So this is the situation. And like I'm telling you, it's not all that easy. But we are doing whatever we have to do to make sure that sanity is prevailed.
Before you go, two quick questions for you. One would be whether you have seen the third person who was in a critical state and was taken to hospital, and whether you know the state of that person. But also crucial to this conversation, you are like the president in your municipality as an MCE. Wouldn't you lay the blame also at your doorstep and your government's doorstep? Two things to look at: unemployment, which has pushed a lot of the youth into these activities, and secondly, Northern Ashanti mining. They are supposed to be doing ABC. They are rather doing XYZ in this instance, pertaining to manning their concession. The right thing has not been done for a long period of time. If you have been at post for 2 years and within this period they've still not complied, someone should have clamped down on that, ensuring that they do the right thing. It has not been done, and we keep losing lives. Those two areas. What is your reaction? Will you accept the blame?
Well, I like if you are following the conversation that you and I are having, I've made you known several efforts that myself and then the mining community have.
I get you, Mr. Kwache, but what is effort without results?
Yes. No, if had it not been these efforts that we have made, probably would have been, recording number of problems like we are seeing now. So effort has been made. Now the agencies, when the first thing happened, the Minerals Commission and all this is okay. We had a meeting with Northern Ashanti mines, and like I told you, I am sure they are also making the needed efforts to make sure that these things will not be, repeated. But the regulatory bodies are there. The regulatory bodies who are supposed to, help the government, assist us, they have been set to, see some of these things being done. And I think actions will be taken. Actions will be taken. I am sure those things that have happened before, what they were supposed to do, tell the Northern Ashanti mines, they did it. You also said, am I not going to take the blame? You were connecting it to unemployment. In fact, like I have told you, the only thing the government can do is, like I told you, that we seed a portion, look for a portion of the concession for the community to do regularized mining, where they will put in safety measures and all these things, so that those who are interested in doing this kind of work will go to the regularized place and do their job. So I won't take the blame, because we have not relaxed. We are making every effort to make sure that this situation is resolved.
And how about the last minor?
The third person
Yes.
person that you asked. Yes, yesterday I visited him and the condition is good.
Which hospital is he in?
Stewards Hospital.
Okay, and the situation is better now, right?
Sure.
Mr. Kwachi, just hold for me briefly. I'll come back to you, and then we'll wrap the conversation from your end. But Erastus, so I posed a number of questions to you before I left. I wanted to know what you knew also about this third person and the economy of Odumase and what this means to them. You were talking about the fact that someone had died, and unfortunately, some were saying that, look, this was rather going to be a sacrifice and there would be more gold in the area. I want us to get deeper into that because it talks about a much more severe problem. The people don't even understand what is happening, do they? Hello, Erastus?
Yes, they understand what is happening very well. They are well aware of the consequences. Death in illegal mining sectors, to them, though they will grieve about it, is nothing. You die today, the work continues the same minute, and you see those people scooping the materials they have dug from the earth and carrying them away. They are more concerned about when to mine again, more than somebody who has just died. Though, yes, visibly you could see that they are distraught. They are hurt, they are sad. But gold is such a funny thing. It's like a curse. You see them, they will come back tomorrow and it's as if nothing has happened and they will be digging as usual. But my problem here is with, in every community, in every district, the district assembly itself has some committees that are supposed to monitor mining. We also have the Minerals Commission with a center in Kolongo. And you ask yourself, what are they doing? They are mute. They just sit because no regulation whatsoever. When you go to Odumase and you see how haphazard mining is done, digging almost everywhere, where you see it's under high tension electric poles and they can dig beneath it for it to collapse and people will keep watching. You go to the Odumase community itself, you see buildings that are currently there and they are sinking. You see the marks around the building, you could see the cracks deep going down and you know that they are sinking. In the roundabout, there's a building there, nicely roofed. When you go in there, it's not a residential facility, it's a mining house. And it's sinking. And it's there. Who is going to talk about it? Who is going to stop it? Because every family, every institution, every person is connected somehow to what is going on there. They benefit from it. Police, Minerals Commission, whatever, NADMO, you listen to the ground and you see how people
You're saying all these people have their finger in the pie. Erastus, you're saying all these people have their finger in the pie.
That's what they tell you on the ground. We'll be standing there and people will come and whisper in your ear. The one you are standing with, he has a concession here, he has a concession there. And so it's not shocking that you cannot solve this problem, because if you try to solve it in one way or the other, you become the enemy of the people, because that is their mainstay. What happened to the Kolongo Odumase that we knew, where young people were going into apprenticeship, where young people were going into very safe businesses? When the mines was thriving under Odumase Gold Mines, Owari Mines, and subsequent companies, it was regulated. The whole area was protected with security manning the area. People were doing fantastic jobs to earn income. Now, all that they understand is that we have to mine. But mining is not the only livelihood in the area. So The problem in Odumase, it's like people seeing a solution sitting in the middle, and they are going around it, and searching for clues. Meanwhile, the solution is sitting there. We all know that this is the solution. You have to demolish buildings. You have to take action. You have to do this. But it affects the core of politics and the very people who are supposed to regulate it. And so nobody dare touch that particular solution.
Before you tell me about the third person and what maybe you have gathered by way of information, it just hit me. You've covered a lot of these stories, Erastus. In terms of your own personal count now, about how many of these stories have you covered where miners, whether up north, and people don't know that up north there's a lot of mining going on there in the northern belt of our country, but up north or down south, you have had to follow stories where people have lost their lives. I just want us to do a simple count, maybe, if you can just off the top of your head. It would give context to it if, let's say, you've covered this number of stories with X number of people. Just imagine generally what the numbers would be that we are losing. And even a lot of them are not even reported.
Let me give you a simple count I did on the internet. When I was doing the extraction for gold, I wanted to get an idea of how many children have drowned in Galamsey pits. And so the reported issues online alone, I got 30 children who have drowned in Galamsey pits. Now, those that I have covered, I can tell you, I've lost count. So far, the ones that I can recall immediately alone, I can count. Konongo alone, I've covered 3. Petrensa, I covered 1 where a child drowned in a pit over there. Another mine collapsed in that particular area, claimed, I think, 4 lives or so. And when you add these 2, you're talking about 7 in Konongo alone. I've covered some in other areas. When you put them together, about 20 in the past year. But there are more. There are more than that. We reported a number of mine collapse across the country, plenty of them. What I'm saying is that the way and manner that people are mining at Odumase is so dangerous that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I told the MC, Mr. Kwachi, I've told him before, I've told him that the more we continue to wait, one day we will wake up and a large area of Odumase has sunk to the ground and a number of people have died. And it's a prophecy that can come true if we continue to wait as we are waiting.
Hold for me, Erastus. I'll come back to you in just about a minute or two so we wrap the conversation. Mr. Kwachi, you just heard Erastus Asaridonko. He's been engaging you, and we hope that prediction does not come true. We don't want to be prophets of doom, but we must also face the reality. So I ask you, between now and let's say the close of this week and moving forward, as head of the MUSEC, the Municipal Security Council, what is your plan? What is your strategy? What are you going to be doing? Engaging Northern Ashanti mining, engaging your people, and taking care of the municipality that has been entrusted to you. What can we expect from you, sir?
To tell you what we are going to do from today. But we are having a meeting Wednesday. Remember, I told you in connection with Odumase, the in-house mining situation. Like you are all aware, it has happened long time ago. As I speak to you, there is a committee that is initiated by the regional minister, and the committee is also sitting next week to see. In fact, there were some recommendations that were given that either the Northern Ashanti mines will resettle the areas, the affected areas, people living there, and the others. I will want to wait for us to meet and see the way forward. When we meet, whatever we are going to discuss, whatever is coming out of it, I am sure you all know, and then we take it from there. But as it stands, the MUSEC is doing what we have to do. We are doing everything possible to make sure that such incidents do not happen.
Mr. Kwache, we're very grateful that you took the time to join us this morning, and we wish you the very best, sir.
Thank you.
All right. That is Robert Kwache, MCE, Asante Achim Central. Erastus, you have the final word. And for me, I don't know, but it just keeps getting heartbreaking. It's heartbreak after heartbreak when we get these incidents happening. I mean, there's mining in South Africa, there's mining in Burkina Faso, there's mining in all these areas, but they found ways of dealing with them. They may not be perfect, but I look at our situation and it is far worse. Now we are talking of, if I'm not mistaken, the White Volta getting polluted. I mean, we're destroying everything. What will be your final words for us, Erastus?
Let me start with the young man, the third person. I saw him there. I don't know whether it was after we left that he went to the hospital, but he was as fit as a fiddle.
Okay.
Just that he was so spooked that he didn't even want to utter a word. And
he had a near-death experience.
Like yes, he was so spooked. He was standing there, very fit. His colleagues were asking him to carry some of the materials they were gathering from the field. He wouldn't do so. He was just standing. I tried to speak to him many times, but he didn't utter a word. So that's the state of that young man. But to talk about the way we are handling illegal mining, I have heard in certain quarters that now government in certain areas are allowing these young people to mine this way because their fortunes, electoral fortunes, was affected in 2020, and they don't want a repeat of that in 2024. So now they are giving them the leeway to mine, and that is visible across all the areas we've been. When you go to the Wasa area, they are digging along main roads, they are digging in homes, they are using excavation in broad daylight, digging almost everywhere.
So you're suggesting, Erastus, that there is a tacit acceptance of this. We may be saying one thing for the cameras, but tacitly,
yes,
let the young people go and do what they will so that we can get political capital. That's what you're telling me.
Perfectly. And I have heard it in so many quarters. In fact, you have some government appointees telling me in the face that it affected their electoral fortunes when they tried to stop them. And so now the young people who are doing this type of mining to get something to eat, they don't want to trouble them. And to me, it's a confirmation on the ground, because wherever we have been, and I tell you, I have toured almost every part of Ghana where illegal mining is happening. And you see it everywhere. And it's happening full glare in the eyes of whoever is an authority, and nothing has been done about it. So we'll continue to hear such stories until we take a decision as a country, as a government, get the political testicular fortitude to say that this is affecting us and we need to stop it.
Erastus, whenever I interact with you, I just get so excited because of the work you do and what you're contributing to the media space and Ghana as a whole. God bless you, and keep up with the good work.
Thank you very much.
That is Erastus Asare-Donkor. He is an assisting editor at Love FM. This has been our conversation on illegal mining. Now we're cooking up something that will be serving you in the course of this week. I'll not tell you about it, but something must be done on some of these issues. But up next, we're going to be taking you to another aspect of our national life. It's that latest feature documentary by Jojo Kobina titled Thirsty Dams. Of course, the One Village, One Dam project took off, and then it sort of just tapered off till now. We'll be serving you that. But before we do, water is life. Awake is premium purified water treated through a strict purification process to ensure that every bottle on the market refreshes you better. And don't worry, they have perfect sizes for everybody. The kids, are they going to school? 330 ml, they're good to go. 500 milliliters, 750 milliliters. There's 1.5 liters for those who want a whole lot more to drink, like I do. But if you're thinking of something for your office or your home, they have the perfect solution. 19-liter jar bottles that you can fix in your water dispensers, and you're good to go for the day. So why look anywhere else? Get Awake purified drinking water. And also remember, it is one for life. Every time you purchase a bottle of Awake purified drinking water, guess what? You are contributing. You are helping them contribute to the kitty of the National Cardiothoracic Center. Now, you know heart disease, very expensive to treat. There are people out there who die every day because they don't have the funds. So by purchasing Awake purified drinking water, you are helping such people. It's another quality product by Casapreco Company Limited. To make bulk purchases, just call 0262 351 251. And remember, this advert is FDA approved. Now, talking water, thirsty dams, up next on the AM Show.